I think me and Cody, the guy that I started this band with, and you know, we were always writing together when I was about 12 and he was a little bit older than me, 13, 14. Um, we were so bad at writing, and you're bound to be, you know, like, and so we had no real idea of what we wanted to do with it. But I think the real reason we clicked was because our influences and the people we listened to, and also the views we had on certain songs, and you know, just he was showing me loads of stuff, and I like to think I was showing him lots of stuff, and I think those just clicked. And so when we were writing, we didn't know what we were writing about, but we were just like, it's gonna work. And then eventually we started sort of writing songs where we were like, oh, I quite like this. This is like nice to listen to. So yeah, I think we've always had the idea of we're going down this sort of rocky route. Let's go Nirvana, Green Day, Queens of the Stone Age, Sonic Youth vibe. You know, like let's go down that route, but let's also be open to lots of other things. So yes, I think we have always sort of known where we want to go with it, but not knowing what we're going to come up with is the exciting part. I went to a college, a music college, I only lasted about 2 months, but even in that college, they were teaching me, you know, or telling me that I needed to sort of write without a guitar. And I was like, like, I've tried this. I get it works for some people, but it doesn't work for me. It just doesn't. It never has. What I do sometimes is if I see some, you know, if I hear someone say something that sounds kind of, it's got a ring to it, or it sounds cool, or the idea of it's cool, or even I come up with something where I'm like, I like that lyric, but I'm going to bed. Or you know, there's like something on the wall, you know, some quote. I'll write it down. I've got notes in my phone. It says lyrics, and it's just a bunch of random shit. And so when I'm writing and I'm stuck, I can go back to that. Or if it's like a sentence starter, you know, in primary school when you used to get given those things, it's like, these are my sentence starters, my song starters, I guess. But that's the only sort of time I'll write a lyric before the actual song. We've been in the studio just writing a lot more recently, which I'm loving because, like I said, it's usually me and Cody that are writing together, but now it's the whole band. So having Bruno and Millie's input as well is amazing. I feel like we've sort of become closer, and we're like, you know, not just guys that work together and kind of want to be in a band together. It's like, no, we're a band now. And I noticed that because we went to Premises Studios, which is in Hackney, not too far from where I am now. And in 4 days, we wrote 9 songs, and we're happy with 8 of them. So it's like, it was good. It was quick. It was like, brush, 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 just banging them out. But, you know, that it was really good, I think, as well, because we were all sort of in a weird place before we got there. And then we got there, spoke about the weird place we were in, and then when they would be writing this riff or whatever it was and sort of working that out, it would be like they just play it over and over and over, and I'd just be writing lyrics while they're doing it, and then sort of would just come together at the end. And so yeah, writing's going really well. Recordings, you know, is going well as well. We're hoping to have an EP ready by early next year. I mean, we've got like fucking loads of songs, but there's just it's just about sort of piecing the right ones together. But it was funny actually, at Premises Studios, we we were there, and I didn't realize how sort of how much people love those studios. But downstairs were the guys that are making the Beatles, the movie. So all the actors were downstairs, and we were going in every day, just like, oh my god, there's fucking Barry Keoghan, like he's right there, like it's, you know. And then there was one time they left their door open because they were all sort of walking in, and then we thought it'd be really funny to start playing Helter Skelter by the Beatles, but like really loud with the door wide open. And then we got told off for that. We went downstairs and their door was closed and locked. So they must have loved it, but it I can't physically just go, "Oh, I'm gonna sit down and write a song." I can't do that. I know loads of people can, and they'll work so hard on like one song, and they'll just have that in their mind, and they'll just, oh, what could that lyric be? What do I do here? They get stuck, so they're going to do something, and they come back. What I do is it's usually when I'm in a real, like a heightened state of emotion, and I'm just like, I don't know, I'm either really pissed off at someone or feeling really just shit and down, and you know that happens, and it's like I always notice that the best songs come out when I'm like that, when I'm feeling those emotions. That's why I said I write all in one go. So just all that energy goes into that one moment there, and that's kind of it. So I mean, Martyr was one of the songs you put, and that song is not about me. It's about someone else, one of my friends, and she sort of went through this thing. It's not my story to tell, so I'm not going to tell it. But she was having a really tough time, and she was sort of stuck in the middle of these problems, and it kind of just sort of was about her and that situation, and highlighted that, and was how pretty much everything I was thinking about. You know, it was my perspective of it, and so yeah, I mean that's kind of how I write. It's all pretty spontaneous, like straight away has to be there and then if I'm stuck, which does happen a lot as well, I'll just send it off to Cody, and he's usually really good at sort of just picking apart the lyrics, and working on them. But I also must say, you know, I I can sit down and write a song, like I just said I couldn't, but only when the band is all there with me. So then it's like when I get stuck, I'm not stuck on that idea for ages that I forget what I was doing in the first place. Usually by the time I'm going, oh shit, I'm stuck, Bruno will come up with something, or Millie will say something, or Cody, whatever. And so then we can just keep going and keep it rolling. It's a very sort of like, I don't know, quick process for us, or me. I think if we say we're going to do an EP, it's going to be 6 tracks max, because I'm the same way. It's like, you know, when sometimes people would say, "Oh, we're releasing an album," but it's not 12 songs. It's, you know, 10 or 9 or whatever. That I can kind of get with, but an EP is meant to be a sort of taster, I guess, of really good songs, and in a short amount of time. And then an album's like your story. So I don't think we're ready to release an album yet, because we haven't got the time, we haven't built that story yet. We haven't got the time, the money, or the fucking help that we need. But we will, and that will come with, you know, the EP, I hope, I guess. This could be something purely because of where I'm at in my career, but I feel like in independent films, I feel like I'm a part of the film. Like, we're all artists, the director, the producers, the actors, the makeup artists, everyone. And so we should all work together and know what the fuck is going on a film set. It's not just one person, because you wouldn't have a film with just one. You can't. So I feel like with the independents, you feel a little more involved and you know what's going on and you feel like you're a part of it. Whereas the majors sometimes can feel a little bit like sort of just sort of, you know, you're the actor, so just do that. Like just act, you know, just be. And it's, I don't know, I think with art, everything should be open to interpretation. You should always have an open mind when it comes to a scene or it comes to like the clothes they're wearing or something like that, you know. And so I'm not saying it's a bad way to work. Obviously it's not, they're earning shit tons of money, but it's it's different. And I feel like, yeah, with the independence, you do feel a little more involved, which I think is better for the art, which at the end of the day is what we're making. That's what we're doing. What's going to shape like the next sort of bunch of films we get in the next couple of decades is the new artists. It's, everyone wants to work with Tarantino and Scorsese and people like that and DiCaprio. And I'm not saying that these are bad movies. These are some of the best movies ever made. But if we just keep working with the same people over and over and over, then it's like, you know, it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't work. So to shape the next however many years of film, then I think that working with newer artists and people, giving people that chance is really important. I saw One Battle After Another, and there's this actress who's done one. I think this is her first film, is what I've heard. But her name's Chase Infinity, and she's fucking kills it in this movie. She's got that sort of teenage angst and that teenage innocence, but then also maintains an intensity throughout the whole film where you're just like, oh my god. So she's incredible. I'd love to work with her, and I hope she, you know, I mean, she is taking off, but I hope she takes off after this. I know that now in the music industry, you have to sort of become some kind of like Instagram sensation or something. You have to sort of be posting 24/7, which we don't do. We apparently should do it, but I don't know, man. It's that fucking algorithm. But yeah, I don't know. There's that in the music side of things. In the this, you know, in the film industry, I don't know what the necessary evil is, because it's what I'm about to say is you can also be seen as just like professional, but or being professional. But I think that um, when you've got a really dark character that you've got to play, or someone that's very like going through a lot, you've kind of just got to forget everyone else for a little bit and just and your life and what you're sort of doing, and all the things that you want to do. You have to just really just become that person for a certain period of time. And I wouldn't say that that's a necessary evil. I just say it's necessary, but it can be, it can hurt a little bit. And don't know, man. Like when you're 18, like myself, and you want to just sort of, you want to be an actor, but you also want to be a kid at the same time. You've got to miss out on a few of these things to do, you know, to be able to play the character correctly. So I wouldn't say it's a necessary evil. I just say it's necessary.